Do you think as well? What do you think about the story of Epstein killing himself? Do you think he's alive, or do you think he was killed? What's your sort of take on it?
Oh, he was murdered. 100%. He was murdered. He had two autopsies, so he's definitely dead. And they found broken bones in his neck, which go against the official story. So, like, why would you have a second autopsy that goes against your suicide story? He was absolutely useless to them alive. He had all this heat on him, so you couldn't use him for anything. And they needed him dead. And I think Trump's the one that ordered to have him killed, because the jail didn't organize that on their own. Broken cameras, guards asleep. Even the tape, the metadata shows the tape had been spliced and put together. So they murdered him. Now, I at first thought, well, his roommate did it, but because of the tape, I thought maybe they did send someone in there to do it. Whatever. But the order to do that can only come from above. That's either the governor or the president. The president's the one in the files himself. And I think a lot of pressure from Epstein's donors once he was in jail for the second time, like, you got to get rid of him. You can't risk a plea bargain, can't risk another immunity, da da da. So they killed him. Israel really didn't like his little side quests where he was dipping in his own stash either. And he'd been warned. And he screwed up again. So they just killed him and replaced him.
Yeah,
There's already a new Epstein.
probably. Yeah. What do you think about Jelaine as well,
No,
Maxwell?
there is. They're headquartered in Massachusetts. It's like no one cares. They don't. No one listens. People listen to me like 10 years after I say something.
Yeah. So what's
That
going on with
seems
that
to
one
be the
then? 'Cause I
pattern.
haven't even heard about that. Maybe it's because I'm not. I'm from the UK. We don't. I'm hearing about a lot of the UK
Well,
stuff.
yeah. I mean, I don't expect people in the UK to know all the details of some organized crime in the United States, and vice versa. I mean, there's North London has human trafficking, um, but Americans don't know about it as much. Yeah, it's sick, man. It's all over the world. There was the Lee brothel case. They had one in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and then one in Northern Virginia, which is really Washington D.C., where uh, it was owned by Koreans, Korean Americans, but it was all Chinese prostitutes, high end, like high level ones, like the expensive kind, and they were servicing thousands. And we know because the cell phones of how they have a client record, 2,900 names, and it's all like businessmen, politicians. It only gave us 31 of those names, by the way, that they threw under the bus. And the clients, they decided not to prosecute them. They prosecuted the madams, all of whom had the last name Lee, but so we call it Lee brothel. But they didn't prosecute the Johns. And you saw the same thing with Robert Kraft when he got his hand job and blow job in Jupiter, Florida, from Love You Long Time, basically forced prostitution under the guise of a massage parlor. They arrested the women and not the Johns. He got away with it. It must be nice to be a billionaire.
Yeah. It's
But we
insane.
did have some wins. I mean, Peter Nygaard's in jail. Mike Jeffries from Abercrombie and Fitch, who's also a Les Wexner guy, in jail. Robert Miller, who raped hundreds of girls in Canada, he's in jail. Glenn Maxwell's in jail, and then Burnell and Epstein were both arrested and murdered in prison. So they didn't all get away with it. And Leon Blocks had to step down from his position, and a lot of people had to resigned. And in places like Slovakia and Norway, they're getting arrested, and Peter Mandelson's being investigated, Prince Andrew's being reinvestigated. But in America, are they investigating Reid Hoffman or Howard Lutnick or any of these perverts? Nope.
Do you think that
Because Trump's president, and they're not going to do it.
do you think that the people that did get arrested were like scapegoats, though, like like the sacrifices, so that the more involved people can sort of walk free?
I think part of it is a huge swath of the American leg of it got immunity in 2008. But all those foreigners were not part of that immunity deal, and so they're getting arrested.
Yeah.
Because the public outrage was so fierce, they had to actually arrest some people. And you could argue, well, they're just throwing these under the bus. Bill Gates is mud. Like, he didn't get arrested, but his reputation has been utterly destroyed. He ended up with a divorce, so he lost half his wealth there. He got an STD, so yeah, that's a gift that never leaves. From Russian hookers. And he's such an easy mark. You got this dork, it's just you knew he'd fall for a honey trap.
Yeah, and
Epstein used to make him donate millions of dollars to MIT on his behalf because it's just more fun to make, at that time, the richest man in the world do stuff for you than it is to just donate yourself.
yeah. Do you think part of this reason why the Iran war started, sorry, was to sort of cover up all the Epstein files that was coming out?
I do. I think that was a huge incentive for Trump, at least. Uh, that's why we call it Operation Epstein Fury. And it worked. I mean, everyone's talking about Epstein, and now they're all talking about the war. But it hasn't gone away. Subpoenas are being made, investigations are being done, lawsuits are going forward. It's just not in the front cycle. But it didn't stop. And I feel like it's not going away. Like, even if this war is a year, I think this war is probably going to end this summer. But Epstein, that's not going away. Remember, it was all hot in 2019, pretty much died during the Biden administration, and then got fired up again. I just don't see it disappearing. That everyone's mad. Like the hoodie you're wearing, like that. I made that 7 or 8 years ago. That's been out. It's got a client list on the back of just what would fit. I put the first page on the back of what you're wearing. No one sued me or anything because I'm not wrong. And now I've been vindicated because the files are out and every single name on that shirt and on the front are in those files. And you can see what they were doing. It's not all of them were banging kids. Some of them were just banging forced prostitution, but they weren't children. And some of them were just involved in white-collar crime, money laundering, and things. That's bad, too, because they were stealing billions with a B. Like, they robbed the Malaysian Sovereign Wealth Fund. And that the Rothschilds and Epstein did that. So the Goldman Sachs is part of that. It's just rotten to the core. All these hedgies, as we call them, they make money from having money. They make money by investing other people's money, and it's all a game of insider trading and political knowledge of who's about to get what, so they can make for sure bets. Pretty disgusting. And you're seeing that now with the price of oil. Like, it's not just the supply and demand, it's the speculation that's driving the price up. It's all the speculators.
Yeah, and it was like
I think 2/3 of the movement is just bets on a ledger. It's not even how much oil there is.
yeah.
It's how much they think there is.
You see Trump the other day as well. He was literally manipulating the market. He made up that he had talks with Iran, and it turned out it was all just nonsense.
We're talking to people. I can't say who they are. They gave me a gift. I can't say what it is. Shut up. Everything out of his mouth's a lie. And I'm afraid they got the 82nd Airborne. They got the 31st. They got some Delta forces, some paratroopers, some Marines. And they got this fantasy. They're going to do a beeline into Iran, and they might even hit Karg Island at the same time. I think the plan is stupid. I think it's a disaster. I think it will not go well at all. I think a lot of Americans and Iranians are going to die, and all for Israel.
Yep, all for the Epstein regime.
That's why. Yeah, all for Epstein donors. We got Boycott Israel coffee on my site. If you want some, it's delicious.